Hey y'all, welcome to Spirit Mail. I'm Cheryl and this is Daily Mail episode 42. So tonight we're going to talk about energy healing and we're going to talk about understanding the most important part of energy healing, and we're going to talk about Jesus because he was an energy healer. But if you're offended by Jesus, go ahead and click off to something else. But he was a role model for me, and I don't mind using his examples as something for us to follow. So the first thing I want to talk about is one of the important things about energy healing is that we have to truly trust and believe that what we do is working, right? And sometimes it's important for the other person to trust and believe too. And there's an example in Mark 9, for their resistance to go away, right? I am not an energy healer by any means, but I've listened to people talk about it and stuff like that. So, I've watched this right here with Jesus, and it also speaks to what's going on with like in this community, because a lot of us are or like in this journey, we're kind of like balancing our religious background versus this new way of presenting ourselves in the world as energy healers, tapping into our gifts, psychics, mediums, all that stuff. Okay, tarot card readers. But so anyway, this first example I want to give you is in Mark, the book of Mark, chapter 9, and it's about where there's a boy with an evil spirit, and the disciples come and they tell Jesus, oh my God, the spirit takes him over and he convulses and gnashes his teeth and it's just horrible. And so the Jesus says, oh, you unbelieving generation, how long must I remain with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring the boy to me. And so what he's saying is, you should be able to do this. You have every ability to do what you're asking me to do. And that, why else would he be saying that they're unbelievers, right? What he's saying is, you're not believing that you're capable of doing what you are here to do. And so they brought the boy to him, and so Jesus asked the dad, how long has he been like this? And the dad says, from childhood, and blah, blah, blah. And he says, can you have compassion on us and help us? And he said, if you can, echoed Jesus. All things are possible to him who believes. So in other words, he's telling the dad too, you could do this. You could do this. And immediately the boy's father cried out, I do believe. But then he said, please help my unbelief. And the reason I think that is so important is because I feel like God honors spirit, creator, the universe, whoever, honors the sincerity in our heart. So he wanted this miracle for his son. And he said, yes, I believe. And immediately he confessed that he didn't believe and he needed help with that. Well, guess what? Jesus said to the spirit, come out of him. I mean, he didn't lay hands on him and have some kind of big ritual or anything like that. He just said, you evil spirit, come out of the boy. And it did. It did one last little convulsion and came out of the boy. And everybody looking thought the little boy was dead because he, kind of laid out and stuff. But Jesus reached his hand down, picked him up and said, go about your day. And then a little bit later in the same chapter in Mark, this is further in chapter 39, some of the disciples came and they said, there's somebody over there healing people and driving out demons in your name, and we tried to stop him because he doesn't accompany us. In other words, he's not in our church, right? And Jesus said, don't stop him. Jesus said, no one who performs a miracle in my name can turn around and speak evil of me. And whoever is not against us is with us. So Jesus' mission was not to go around and qualify people to do his work, to see if they're good enough or if they were part of his church or his accompaniment. He wasn't there to do that. He was there to be an example. And if other people were living by his example and doing the same things he was doing, he didn't want them to be stopped, because they were not against him. They were with him. They were there promoting the same thing that he was promoting. So whenever we struggle sometimes with, are we doing something against the church? Are we doing something against God? Well, I wouldn't be so hung up on what's against the church or not against the church, as much as I would be hung up on, is it against God? And like I said last night, whenever we truly hold in our hearts that trust, that relationship with our Creator, and I call him God, you can call him Creator, Universe, Dill Pickle, he doesn't care what we call him. He wants us to let him love us. Yes, he wants us to let him love us and give us that peace that passes all understanding, so that whenever we walk forward and we become his hands and feet like Jesus did, because Jesus said, all of this stuff that I do, it's not me, it's my Father through me who does it. In other words, the energy, the Creator of the world was working through him. It was that energy. A little bit later, back in Matthew, we're going to go to Matthew now. The faith of the centurion, more energy healing. This time it was remote energy healing, right? Jesus had entered Capernaum, or not, I don't know, and a centurion came to him asking him, my servant lies at home paralyzed and suffering terribly. And Jesus said, well, shall I come over and heal him? And he says, oh no, I'm not worthy for you even to come under my roof. He says, but I am a man under authority. And he said, all you have to do is say the word and my servant will be healed. So he said, I'm also under authority, and I understand that with the soldiers, I'll tell them, you go there and they go, and you go here and they go, and all that stuff. You do this and they do it. And when Jesus heard this, he was amazed, and he said, truly, I tell you, I've not found anyone in Israel with such great faith. In other words, whenever we speak to energies, right? If you're an energy healer and you speak to an energy, or if you're just practicing it in your own life and you don't allow energies to consume you and occupy space in your being and drag you down and hold you down. Whenever we do that, whenever we command the energies that we allow in our lives, we're operating in great faith. And in neither case did Jesus ask either one of those men, what makes you qualified or what makes you worthy of me bringing this to you? No, he just did it for them, because guess what? They're all connected. Those people were children of God just like he was, and he understood that and he honored that. There was another something that it made me think of. I'm going to say this again. Jesus, another thing that he said is that all these things that I do, you're going to do these same things and more. So whenever we worry about, are we doing something against God, I would suggest, and a lot of people on this channel are following kind of along the same journey that I've been on, or we're about the same place, or maybe you're a little ahead of me. We're all kind of in the same energy, as far as our backgrounds growing up in church or whatever, and now we're on this different journey. I feel like most people, especially watching Daily Mail, are in this same place. So whenever Jesus said, all these things that I do, you're going to do these same things and more, he wasn't saying you're all going to go be preachers. You're all going to go do that. He was talking about all of the things that he did. And he was the hands and feet of God. He was the hands and feet of the Creator of the world, showing what true love, true unconditional love was in a space where a lot of people were divided, where there were Pharisees and Sadducees, and everybody had their rules and their rule books from their churches or their synagogues or their temples or all that. And Jesus was here to do something radically different. And that's what we're doing. We're following in those same footsteps. Now, again, if you don't want to prescribe to Jesus' teachings, that's fine. You don't have to. But if anybody starts to wonder, find a Bible, read the red letters. Read the red letters in the Bible, or just read all the 4 Gospels, because they're gonna walk you through his life. And no matter what you hear preached, if you read it and pay attention to what you're reading, you're going to see a story about a man who was a rebel. And he would not be welcomed in our churches today, I don't think, because he was a rebel, and he was an arrogant rebel. Look at what he said to his own disciples. Let me find it again. You, unbelieving generation, how long do I have to put up with you? How long do I have to remain with you and hold you by the hand? And how long do I have to put up with you? He was frustrated because they should have been able to handle what it was that the man was asking for his son. Their faith should have been strong enough. Their belief should have been strong enough in Jesus' mind for them to be able to let that demon spirit go. So, with all that said, I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, and I can't remember what it was. I should have printed it, and I didn't. But we're going to ask for a PS. God, guides, angels, archangels, and Holy Spirit, thank you so much for allowing us to have good, healthy conversations about you and about what we're here for. Thank you for allowing us to be able to see your work in action. Yeah, he said everything he did, I think I might have said this, he said, it's not me, it's my Father in me. And that's what we do whenever I read tarot cards. It's my Father working through me to bring messages about the energies that we're going to be navigating, or things going on. And you know, some people might say, well, God don't care about nobody's love life. Oh yeah, he does. Or she does, or it does. It doesn't matter. But if it's important to us, it's important to our Creator. And that's just how that goes. So anyway, show me the PS, please. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation. Y'all, my hands are so like, let me put some lotion so I can hang on to those cards. It's not that they're dry. It's almost like they're just kind of powdery or something. I don't know. Anyway, let me know in the comments, what is your favorite story about a healer? Whether it be Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. What is your favorite story about a supernatural something that somebody did in those old scriptures that we read and that we hear about? I would like to know. What's your favorite story? That one, I believe, please help my unbelief. I've said that many times. It's probably one of the most powerful scriptures I've ever seen, because he said, I believe, and immediately he was convicted and he said, please help my unbelief. He was sincere. And that's the whole deal, I believe, is when we're sincere. And I think you've heard me say it in some of these readings, this is not a mental journey. We cannot have the relationship with our Creator up here. It really is a heart thing. And whenever we're sincere, we draw that energy to us. Even if it's a sincere anger, even if it's a sincere frustration, disappointment, when it's sincere, it draws it there. Okay, God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, thank you so much for Daily Mail and the special Daily Mail people. I don't want to say followers. All you guys who tune in to Daily Mail. I thank you especially for these people. I ask you to show me, what is the PS? if I could have said something better, or if I forgot to say something that you felt was important to say, please give us the PS as it relates to this message, or just a little extra something something. We thank you for clear and concise messages. We thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And we thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Give us the PS, please. Okay. All right. Look. I love this card. This is the in some cases they call it the stand your ground card, right? Or the I'm being defensive card, or that person's being defensive card. But I read it the other day and I was looking and I was like, no, she's not being defensive. She's shining her light, right? She knows what she's been through. She knows where she knows where she's going. She knows where her information comes from. So she's shining her light out there for others to be able to find their way too, because they've been through similar things. It's kind of our story here. I'm shining my light to you, and then as a result of that, you go shine your light to others, and it's like we all kind of, our light's going to be on this planet is going to soon enough be so big that people aren't going to be able to deny the power of our Creator. There's just no way. There's just no way. And it starts with each of us picking up our light, finding our light and shining it on the outside. So this is where a lot of people are too in this community, where we're at a crossroads, right? It's like we feel like, what do I do? And we're kind of scared to walk in one direction or the other, because the calling in our heart, the calling in our being is so strong that we feel drawn to find out the deeper understandings, to go deeper with God, to be able to experience those things that we don't experience sitting in the pews at church. And again, nothing against church at all. There's a lot of great people in church. Everything that was created by God can be used for really good things and can be used in other ways too, including this tarot, or any kind of spirituality. So you're at a crossroads, right? And I feel like what they're saying is, shine your light and take your blinder off, right? But whatever you do, uncross your heart. You're not required to experience in a spiritually based community if you feel safer in the pews. You can stay whichever way you choose. It is your choice, whatever works for you. The most important part of this message is uncross your heart, because your Creator cannot reach you right here. This is just a conceptual understanding of who your Creator is. But when you uncross your heart and you allow your Creator in, that's whenever you can experience the true value of what your Creator has to offer you. And the one main thing He has for you is His love for you. And His love for you fills you up to a point where you walk with confidence in whichever arena works for you. In this world, right? Especially those of us who have backgrounds where we were brought up in church, or struggled with leaving a church or something like that, or some people who are in church but then kind of go back and forth between Christianity and spirituality, or Islam and spirituality, or Judaism and spirituality, whatever it is that you bounce back and forth between, right? It's a struggle. But what this is saying is, nobody has control over you. Not even this devil. This kind of reminds me of what we talked about last night, fear. There's no fear here. God loves you. Your Creator absolutely adores you. This thing right here, that's more of a mental mind game that's been created to put us in fear. And where fear exists, love has a hard time getting in. But where love exists, fear doesn't exist. See, this devil doesn't even have a hold on you. His hand is open. In other words, it's your choice to play in this arena or not. And you can take off your noose and you can walk away. You can leave your noose on and walk away. There's nothing holding you in that fear. And whenever we uncross our swords, right? Uncross our heart and shine our light, we have the confidence, the knowing to be able to shine our light. And then Jesus doesn't look at us and say, how long I gotta hang out with y'all? He was arrogant. I'm telling you, he would not. I don't know. A lot of people like to say that he would be welcome in their churches or even their houses, and I think to myself, maybe not, because he was a rebel and he was pretty arrogant too. I love him to pieces. Okay, so that is our Daily Mail segment for tonight. And until next time, y'all go out and have a super duper day. Talk to you later. Bye.